All right, when you are ready, please introduce yourself, introduce the run, give me a countdown for when you want the timer to start, and we will get ourselves started. You are now live.
All right, awesome. So I'm speedbaker55. I run the Sonic Rush trilogy and Sonic Chronicles. This is the most recent game that I've started running. Today we'll be doing the NG Plus category, which you'll be seeing Sonic and team completely obliterate and literally destroy every obstacle in their path. Not even kidding. There's also other categories, just such as any percent, which we'll see, which gives more spotlight to power moves, which is part of the system. So yeah, we're gonna be playing some Chronicles and destroying every obstacle in our path. So after you click the title screen, the middle file is the NG Plus file, which we'll be running today. Whereas the top one is the completely fresh file, which is what I'll do any percent in, and the bottom one being the geese route test file to test out early chow routes. So without further ado, I'll count you in from 5 and we'll start the run. And time will start when I click this middle save file, as you see in the hand cam. So time will start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Right, and we're off. So right here, we just sped through that loop. And we just went across the water. And right here, we started one of the easier fights, even in any percent conditions, and we go. And route simple, we just attack. Nice and easy. So right here, this Marauder tries to block our path, and yeah, we'd actually be blocked here because the game does not allow us to break these blocks or jump over it unless we use a smash character to break them. Speaking of smash characters, here's Amy. And this is how it teaches us how to navigate menus. So now we're going to match up Amy's speed and luck. And we don't need to take anything for her for power moves. Right, here we go. Chase section. So this will introduce us to the first chase section. And normally this is super slow, but because this is NG+, we speed through it very quickly. So to speed things up, I get someone set and aims to defend because attack stat is so high that there's virtually no chance of missing. Right, so now that we've completed 2 fights, we can now go down here and go off to face the Marauder that tried to block us earlier. In any percent, we would have taken that armadillo that we just passed earlier on purpose. The reason we do that is because we wanted something to level up and be able to get fastball, which we'll see much later in this game. And by the way, we can ambush too. Okay, with the first zone completed, we now have a new zone, Central City. Right here, we go to Tails' workshop. And he beats us in the situation. So basically what's happened is that there's a group of Marauders that are pretty much have stolen the Chaos Emeralds, and Knuckles tried to fight them and ended up getting captured. And by the way, this SWAT bot just caught us trying to exit. That means we have to fight it, right? Or not. So yeah, we can skip this fight by holding up on the touchpad. And this is NG Plus exclusive only. You can't do that in any percent or any fresh route category. And also be watching chat to see if you got any questions. Pardon me. Right, so now we reach our first puzzle, and this requires all 4 of my characters, because now Rouge joins the team. If you try to go to Rouge without getting Tails first, you'll just be blocked from moving forward. So first to get Sonic all the way on this pipe, because we need to move this missing section of the pipe. Tails and Amy on the switches, and Rouge to go all the way up here and hit the switch. So we activate the crane. And we go in. Right, and that's our first puzzle completed. So max everyone's speed and luck. And don't take any power moves. Right, so here we have encounters to dodge for the first time. So by getting something to run back there, we can redirect the bees. And these bees are somehow not cooperating with us. Ah, we just made that. Thank goodness. Right, so that took a bit longer than I would have liked. Alright, so before we proceed to this fight, we now go to this menu and give her cursed loves to Tails and to Rouge. We're not going to do anything with Amy just yet. Now we enter. And with the others powered up, we can now beat this in 2 hits most of the time. The reason we don't need to do anything with Amy just yet is because Amy doesn't even get a chance to turn, because of all these lot, she goes last. And she never even has a chance to have a turn in the first place, so it makes sense not to do Amy till later. Because we will be doing another menu, but we're not going to be doing that until later. Because there will be other characters all unlocked that will also give items to. Oh, and that's what point skipped early. Make sure we run around it so that we don't get into that encounter. Because if you get an encounter with it, it is a trapped encounter, so you do have to fight it out. You do have the option to flee encounters, but if it's a trapped encounter, you can't flee. Nice. I'm just going to make sure we go on the outside of that swap bot, and then we go into Green Hill. So we're trying to find Knuckles in this chapter. I'll go with the chapter name, Search for Knuckles. We're going through all these old hideouts to try to find him. We have to check, and we do have to check out all 4 of them before we know who he is. Okay, here we go. It's pretty much the same thing again. Right, so you see that robot that was out there? We can't dodge it. So that dodge there truly is impossible, because as soon as we exit, the robot is literally right on top of us. So unfortunately, the count, it happens so quickly the map doesn't get a chance to load, which is what happened just there. Right, now here's the fourth and final hideout. After this, we'll head back to Central City. Perfect. I think let's get lucky this time. It's similar to Fruit Ninja, where you can get random critical hits. For those of you who played Fruit Ninja. Well, fun fact, Rouge normally, in Fresh File, Rouge normally doesn't have Fly 2 at the time. So yeah, this is the first and only time that Rouge ever gets Fly 2 at this point in NG+. Otherwise I'd be forced, because normally I'd be forced to use Tails, because Tails gets Fly 2 before Rouge does. So you know where Knuckles is now, he's in Mystic Ruin, but as G-Ran have blocked it off, we're gonna literally go over their heads. And that's by enlisting the help of the X Tornado. Right, so this is our next zone. From right here, we come towards to try and find Knuckles, and we're already stuck because of his poison gas, which can't get through. Or can we? Big, how did he get there? Ah, that's how. So Big introduced us to another field ability, which is invulnerability. And that allows us to get through this poison gas. Once again, I've had everyone's speed and luck. By everyone, I mean just Big, and this time I actually do need to take better than them. We're not going to need that for the very last chapter. So, with puzzles, when you finish a puzzle, everyone regroups on the last person who you used, and whoever spoke to the person that initiated that sets the puzzle, you turn back to that character. So since I entered the puzzle as Rouge, once I exit, I'll be Rouge. And right now I want to be Rouge when I exit, so that way I can fly straight away on this podium. Like that. So each different character has different speeds. Sonic, obviously the fastest, and then it comes Rouge, then Amy, then Big. Okay, so now that we've hit chapter 3 and found Knuckles, we now unlock him as a character now. Now we exit, and I'll be taking Amy, Big, then Knuckles. Knuckles, do the same as usual, I do the other characters, up speed and luck, and we'll take Quick Punch. Right, so we have four of the 5 power moves that we actually need for NG+. The last one we get in chapter 6. So in this chapter, we think Eggman is behind Angel Island literally getting nicked. So right now we've got to find 5 Eggman devices. That way we can deactivate the force field he's hiding behind. Right, so that gets 1 of 5. And with that spot bar, I had to make sure I took option 3, because option 3 allows us to get the device without having to fight it. If you get in the option to fight it, then unfortunately it is a trapped encounter, and that loses... Oh yeah, it loses some time. But it's not cheap. It's still about 20 seconds, because menu is deceptively long. Right, so this guy has another Eggman device, but for him, we have to find the salesman who sold him that device and get him his stapler back. We'll leave it on hold for now, because right now we're going to go to Mystic Ruin to get 2 more Eggman devices. So I go down there on purpose, so that way nothing interrupts me when I try to go for the dodge there. Because we have to go back there. But right now, we're going to take care of... Oh look, there's Shadow the Hedgehog. And he happens to have one of the Eggman devices. Whoa, almost rushed through that. So right now, we're not entering any fights unless absolutely forced. We do this 90% too. Only 90% will have a much harder time because we don't have a lot of level ups. The level ups are very important. Right, so this thing we do have to fight in order to get the Eggman device, but before we do that, we're going to do another trip. I'm going to give a pair of curse gloves to Knuckles, Big, and Amy. Same thing with the Grunt Hammer, because these increase our power a lot. I'm going to give a stigma to each one of them too. Yes. 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 Feel satisfied to get all four of them down in one. Right, we're out of here. I want to swap to Sonic for faster speed. Dodging out is harder on the way in, but fortunately, I found a consistent setup. Especially if you swap to Sonic, because Sonic moves at least twice as fast as Big. I used to do that with Big, but I did find that sometimes I did get caught in that encounter, and getting caught in that encounter is a trapped encounter. Right, so with this puzzle, we're going to be making this bridge because we need to get across that to get one of the Eggman devices. So Knuckles normally doesn't get Fly until he reaches at least level 8. He doesn't normally get that in any percent. So now we can take advantage of it. Oh, that was close to being an encounter. Alright, here we go. Not quite. Right, could be better. Right, we've got 4 Eggman devices and we have the stapler. So now we can come back to Central City and give the shopkeeper a stapler back. So I'm going to be going round, down here, and all the way back to the back to the shopkeeper's shop and give him a staple pack and get the final Eggman device. Alright, so his hideout is in Green Hill. So that is exactly where we're going. And we actually need Knuckles because of his climb ability. Because you need his climb ability to get in there. And save his time in navigating round. Because normally you have to run all the way around and get up there. But with Knuckles' climb, you just cut straight through. That wall with the arrow on, you need Knuckles to climb that. Nice. Right, so now that we've deactivated the force field and defeated this first wave, we now have to face Swapbot Mark II, which are not only a lot stronger, but they each get 2 turns. Of course, in this category, they're not much of a threat. Right, see yas. Right, we found him. Right, so now we need to talk to Tails, because the X-Tornado is still in Green Hill. Talking to him brings it back to Central City, making this an easy walk. Right. Right, so we just zoomed past Chow the Hedgehog. So right now we go there and talk to him. And then he tries to fight us. Emphasis on tries. 2 hits. Wow. I haven't had that in like ever. Right, so now we're in another chase sequence where Shadow tries to run off. And this time Sonic fights him one-on-one. Right, don't need anything from Shadow, fortunately. So the last power move we take is all the way in Chapter 6. We're now in Chapter 4. Right now we just zoom past everything. Now tell me stop telling to tell me what to save. I'm pretty sure I told him before. That was another save I was talking about. And this is Shade, the leader of the Marauders, so she tries to block us from proceeding further, so we have to fight her. Right. Now Shady and the others have been defeated for now. They block our path, so we can't proceed to Metropolis this way. Eggman has a place to get in, which is located underneath the sewers, but it's behind this door here, which we need to unlock. So how this puzzle works is that for each of the block pieces that are filled, you have to click which blocks fill the current pieces that will be shown on this board. So right now that's 1 and 3. So that's 3. That's 6. And 2. So that's 3 and 4. Not 2. Or 1, so that's 5 and 6. Alright, you cracked the code. So this right here is the first point of no return. Because once we enter that hideout, we can't go back to the other zones. But first we need to talk to Knuckles, because he's feeling down and the game will not let us move unless we talk to him. So I get Amy and Big on Sonic's team, while Shadow and Rouge on Tails' team. So this setup is slightly different in any percent. There's any percent we need to move as Shadow on Angel Island, and the team's basically cooked without that move. As this is NG+, we don't actually need it. And here's where Shadow gets his red chance to shine, in this underground section. And as you can see, he moved much faster than Rouge would have done. Right, here we go. So right now we just literally just run through everything. Even the section right here. And swap his Knuckles at the final section because only Knuckles can climb at this point. So now I want to make this tight turn here. And that is Shadow exclusive only because Rouge doesn't get enough speed to get there without getting caught. Because Shadow does move faster than Rouge does. Right, we're in. So Tails and Eggman built a weapon they could defeat the Marauders with. But we need the parts first, we had to go for that part. And then go to Eggman's laboratory. This is so close to being a one-shot, it's not even funny. So as we commandeer this aircraft after getting to the airbase, the group of Marauders start attacking the main weapon. And Sonic and team think it's a good idea to just and let him destroy it. So now we need Tails' help again and get to the anti-aircraft cannon. So now we zoom past and get back in the hideout, because we need to go down here to go back to the upper section. Once again, that making that cycle was shadow only. I'm glad he gets his chance to shine here. Because in any pressure category, I do this section as Rouge because I need Shadow and Sonic's team. Blue, blues, and the red. Right, want to get Eggman in position first and get him to not do anything. Right, round 2. Blue, yellow, blue. Blue, yellow, 2 blues, yellow. I reckon it's my least favourite puzzle. Yellow, blue, yellow, red, blue, blue. Nice, we made it. And by the way, if you miss any of these patterns, you have to do the whole thing again. All 4, 5, and 6 patterns. Right, so I matched there hard, so because most of the time you end up hitting that encounter on top. You can get the fly straight away, but it's better to even go back down the escalator. So that's still better than hitting that encounter. And yeah, Tails is the only one here who gets fly 3. So only he can take advantage of that. That's a better flight path. So those are the beginning parts are going to be like... I pretty much won. Like, what's it called? Auto wins. Right, now that we've got this working, Sonic and the others can now make it to Angel Island. Right, Angel Island. So here's where we see the main bad guy of the game. Ix, right there in the cloak. This is on smooth sailing. Right, that was easy enough. So now Ix comes to greet us by sending Movie's lackeys against us. Cool. So it's pretty much routine. Yes. So we need to fly over here and swap back to Shadow, jump down, and back to the hideout. Super short way to get back. So while Eggman's activated his teleporter, we now see a bit of his funny run. Funny way to put an unskippable cutscene in there. So while Eggman's doing that, X now has more time to send a bunch more lackeys at us. These guys are a bit stronger, so we're likely not going to get the auto win. Nice. Okay. So Tails arrives here and sends the Marauders back to where they came from with that weapon that they built. So now it's just X and a couple more lackeys left. Perfect. Right, nice, we got a refresher wave. And gain a few seconds back. So now that X has lost the battle, he goes in and grabs the Master Emerald and escapes. So since we failed to stop X from grabbing the Master Emerald and escaping, we have no choice but to run back and go down with the Angel Island itself. Right, but fortunately it's not over. Because Shade, who was basically his finest fighter, decides to join our team since X plans on taking over the world, which he doesn't agree with. Right, so here I take Big and Knuckles. And Shade, I take a Kid Rush 3, and this will be the last power move we need. And that gives another use for Knuckles Fly 1. Even I thought it wouldn't be that useful since, in the later parts, pretty much everything else is going to be Fly 2 or Fly 3. There's also a menu we need to do. We'll save it when we hit the third generator. Because Angel Island has knocked out the power. So now we need to turn the emergency generators so that Tails and Eggman have power to build the ship we need to go after him. Okay, equipment. So just need to give Curse to Shade. And the complementary coin hammer to Shade. Give her a Ferox. That auto completes power moves. And Geese to Big. The whole starts here and dodge this encounter. And this does work even in 90%. Because here, in Energy Plus, most of the enemies aren't even after you. And even when it is, this still works. So most of the time we'll get ambush. Yes. Right, now it's that done, we can get out of here. Right, we got the dimensional buffer, which is why we need to go to the hazard vault, which is the last piece they needed to build the ship. Eggman stayed behind to quote unquote keep watch of everyone. So this is the first part where I actually need to use the power move, because these guys are heavily armored. I tried beating this with no power moves and it's definitely way slower. But you see, my damage here is a lot lower than we've been seeing so far. That's because they have a whopping 75 armor. So with Ferox, this move is literally done for us. There's no inputs to put in. And it gets rid of the perfect message for us. Right, here we go. So same thing again, except we use 2 echidna rushes this time. And again. The sound effects are pretty weird here. In fact, it is in this entire game. Right, Amy's the only one who gets smashed 3, so I have to use Amy to break that crate. Right, so now we go into this hideout and talk to the foreman. And he tells us that Ix has captured his factory, so we need to get back for them. So it's a nice, relatively smooth run to get up here. Right, 3 switches. Our only clue is that they're not the same. Okay. Yes. No. Second try. Okay. As long as we wait there long enough, we can dodge that Gizoid relatively easily. So with all of that, we now reach the generator, which we need to deactivate, so the clone can have their factory back. I've got the emerald, nice. So we need to get the emerald, not only so we can phase 6, but so we can fix the ship. Okay, nice. So this time we will be taking Big, because Big can go through electric fields. And right here, this planet is full of them. So there's no way we're passing that without Big. Right now we want to take the thumbs down notch so we don't have to fight these guys. Now, currently eating our ship. Good. Okay, so on this planet, we had to talk to the Queen and make our way all the way to her. And sometimes you can activate the door trigger before you even through it. Right, so the Noah and the Zo and the Zo and the Nurgal have been at war for a very long time. And not like the Nurgal, these guys are ready to fight us. Nice. So right, so now you run down here, and remember to talk to this guy down here, because this will allow us to access a shortcut and skip a puzzle. Oh, that was close. That's dangerously close. So that when we go down here, talk to this guy, we get taken straight in. It does mean we have to take an extra fight, but it's better than having to do this puzzle and then navigating all the way in. At least for NG+, that's true. For NG+, it's still better to just do the normal route, even with the puzzle. Good enough. This time I use a refresher wave. So nice when it does the work for you. Okay, good enough. Right, so now those two fights are over, we now have to face Commander Sirius and his henchmen. But it's literally the same fight as before. So basically fighting 3 Zoa. Nice. Alright, now that Commander Sirax is beat, we now fight the General himself for Sonic 1-on-1. Right, goodbye. So for General Raxos, who's the Zoa General, if anyone defeats him in single combat, he does whatever the winner wishes. And that is for the Chaos Emerald. So right here, it doesn't really matter what party we take. As long as you select one, and make our way back. Right, now that's done, we now go back to the Nurgle planet. And this time we don't need Big because we don't actually have to go anywhere. We just have to exit the ship and make away. Because once we get here, the Queen literally comes to us in pieces. Now we're here with the Emerald. So that gives us 3 Chaos Emeralds. And of course we need all 7 to be able to face off against 6 himself. Right, so now we zoom on to the next planet, and this next planet will be taking the same team as we did before. Because I think we only need a Kid Rush for 1 fight, and that's the very last one in this chapter. So for this planet, apparently this place has been taken over by the Overmind since X gave him a Chaos Emerald. Right, so as soon as we make it to that teleporter, our new friend Roxai, or should I say our new friend who's a Roxai, I think it's Thebes, comes over this and warns us off. That it's not safe. So now we're making our way to his place using a series of teleporters. Oh, what's that? Yeah. I wish I could say that was true with any percent, but any percent, here's where more times than not I get ambushed. So these guys are not as armored as the Con and the Zoa, so now we don't need any power moves to even beat these guys. Before I used to rely on fastball and the kidney rush for this, but I don't need to do that anymore since no power moves. Right, here we go. Come on, Shade, knock it out. Yes. Okay, so what happened is that thieves now stole the teleporter code from the other Voxai's mind, and now we can transport ourselves to the other Voxai colony, which is where the Overmind is. Another useful Knuckles fly one yet again. So that force field prevents us from going straight to the Overmind and going down this way. So now we need to go all the way around and deactivate the force field. So if it single beeps, we tap it. If it double beeps, we leave it. So it double beeps, so we leave it again. So double beep is slower than single beep, but ideally want the last one to be double beep. It's a bit of a waiting game. So far, they've almost been all double beeps. Double beep again. Right, so for the last one's double beep, I get Shade to walk out here, because when the puzzle finishes, the game groups us together on the character I last used. And that was Shade. Now that's done, we can jump straight into this fight. Since that right one is so weak, I just take it out with a normal attack. Nice. So now that gives us the Chaos Emerald they had and the Great Emerald. Right, now we have both of the emeralds, we now have 5 Chaos Emeralds. Right, final chapter in under an hour. Right, now we get Amy, Shade, Knuckles again, and we go. Okay, let's see if this goes our way. Right, good enough. That one's not after us. If that one was after us, we definitely would have been caught there. Normally I destroy both of the barriers. But fortunately, since it's not after us, we can get away with destroying only one. Right, so here we're going to start our master plan to get onto Nocturne. Because, surprise, surprise, that's where the other 2 Chaos Emeralds are. Which is why I never came up on the radar. Okay, looking good. And we're in. So, like with Chapter 5, we can't return back to any of these other planets we've been to, nor Sonic's world, since this is another point of no return. Right, we've arrived at Nocturne, which is where Ix is. And that's where he's taking the Master Emerald. But before we make progress, we're greeted by 2 coloured Gizoids, red and blue. And this is Skiller and Cherub, who, surprise, surprise, we have to fight. Right, so you take the same parties as usual. Only difference is Cream will be in any percent. And Cream will be in Rouge's place. This party remains completely unchanged. Right, this is not a drill. This is not a drill. We gotta go. That is the vibe the siren gives. That we're intruders here, and they're basically after us. Literally everyone high alert for us. And we're out. So this part remains unchanged because the enemies are after us here. So for some reason, the game swaps over Shadow and Rouge. Not sure why this happens. Something similar does happen on Angel Island. If I had Shadow on Sonic's team, him and Amy swap positions. So fortunately, Cameron ran the shorter way, relatively pretty much risk free. Yes, escaped it. Right, so now we face against the Gizzle Centurions, and this is a scripted ambush. And a scripted loss. To solve this problem, I quick punch to stun them. This way I make them lose all their turns if I can. Right, the left one is stunned. Can we do the right one? Yes, both stunned. So right here now, just get everyone to defend, and this fight is done. For now. Fortunately, we don't have to worry about Knuckles' meter. Because yeah, it's just enough that he needs. Good. So one thing that if we go to a trigger, then that trick takes priority and the enemy doesn't even notice we're there. Okay, here we go. Right, good news is that we can skip it. Yes, we did that and dodged that encounter. It's not as easy as it looks. Hit the wrong character, it's supposed to be Shadow. Okay, we got this encounter. Yes. Right, we're in. So now that we've found Sharab, we now have to make it through this underwater maze section. And underwater, we can't use any power moves. So as you see, we're doing the pathetic amount of damage. And this is a scripted loss too, so we can't win this. I'm going to get a fresh wave because we actually need everyone at full meter. Well, at least Sonic and Amy anyway. Mighty Slash. Okay, round two. Going to get everyone to defend now. This fan attack is not something you want to see often. Because this fan is virtually unblockable. Fortunately, big doesn't matter too much. Yeah, Biggs. Well, Biggs, he's had a good run. He took a whopping amount of fans. So I didn't do an ambush unless it's one of the fights where we can also win. Right, nice, that was a gold. Normally there's a kidney rush for this, but turns out if we get good enough for ambush, we don't even need any power moves at all. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get a very good amount of damage here. Just like that, this fight is over. Right, so right now we want to run to the switch, and that triggers the dialogue here to activate a glitch. So this is the Knuckles teleportation glitch, because normally we have to run all the way around up to trigger the final cutscenes. We're running to the switch and trigger the dialogue in there. When you get out here, you get walked to the final area.
Do you mind if I do a very quick donation announcement very quickly?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so it's not that we have any new donations in, it's just a quick reminder that this is the last run of InstaSpeedathon 2026. So any final donations before we close off the stream, because once this run ends, the event will officially be over, and we will not be reading out any live donations after the event closes. So if any final donations want to go be made, I have posted links both on Twitch and on YouTube, but !donate on Twitch. There's a link in the description on YouTube. Any final donations that are made before we close the stream will be read out on stream. If you'd like your donation to be read out on stream, then be sure to get those donations in reasonably swiftly, as we are about to finish the event.
Right, so right here we face off against X-Power Phone, and he does not play nice. Because this is a scripted ambush. So right here, we get Knuckles, Rock Salt, Shade, go to Shade, Kid the Rush, and everyone to defend. This is the first and only time we'll actually need a Rock Salt in NG+. And this one-shots him, just like that. Okay, so after Knuckles fights him, then it's Sonic's turn. Nice. So even if he defends, it's still enough to finish him. So right now we need Amy, Big, and yeah, you only need Amy and Big, really. You don't even need Shay. Shay's just pretty much there to look pretty. So right here, Knuckles went after the Moss Emerald, so we can't use him, and hence no Echidna Rush. Crossball, then Axe Kick, and Big Battering Ram, defend. Nice. Battering Ram. Last but not least, Axe Kick. So it's deliberately missing a combo of purpose makes you not get the perfect message. A perfect message at the end, when the power move is the last one to finish it, takes up time. So now now we have all the emeralds and we've got the Master Emerald back. It uses Noctum to transform himself into Super Self. So we do the same thing with all 7 Chaos Emeralds. Right, let's fight. Nice. Final blast. Goodbye. Right, nice. Right, so this will be the final cutscenes, and the time will stop when the question mark comes up after the end. We should be in about almost a minute time. So as we make our way back, Eggman's surprise has taken over. Who can see that coming? And of course, as we come back, Eggman proceeds to shoot us down, and cliffhanger. Well, we had a lot of time to build Metropolis from his wreckage to this new fortress. Time. Right, so that's 1:16:25 on my end.
Probably a bit of discrepancy, 1:16:27 on my end, but your timing might be more accurate.
Yeah. Also, this beats my previous record by like 2 minutes.
Excellent, so that's a marathon PB. Woohoo!
Yeah, marathon PB and record run. Yeah.
A world record as well.
Yeah.
Excellent. We've had 2 marathon world records back to back.
Oh, nice.
So DBK had a marathon world record, as has been confirmed, and now we've had another one to close off the marathon. What an excellent way to close off the marathon, with a marathon world record and a marathon PB. Well done. Excellent.
Thank you. It's been a real blast running this on, and things went lots of plan, and more importantly, we hit this with 0 encounters apart from the impossible dodge. So I think that's also a first as well. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, I do runs on YouTube and Twitch. So yeah, if you want to catch more of these, I'll be there doing these.
Yeah, Oops, sorry, carry on.
I was going to say once again, thank you for having me on. It's been a real blast doing this run in front of all of you.
No problem at all. Well, thank you very much for taking part. There is, in fact, we have in fact tagged Speedbreaker55 on both Twitch and on YouTube. So if anybody does want to go and check out Speedbreaker55's YouTube channel or Twitch channel, his account is tagged in the title on both. So you can very easily go over to his channel and to subscribe or to follow as well on there. We have officially reached the end of InstaSpeedathon 2026. I will do some closing remarks just before we finish, of course, as I always do at these events. But just before we do go on to the intermission screen and on to the final remarks, please don't forget we have been doing this as a charity event for Everyone Can. There is a very small window left for anyone who wants to put any final donations in to be read out live on stream. The current total we have raised for Everyone Can is a fantastic total of £118, which will be sent to Everyone Can once everything has been processed. It'll be about a week or two before we do so, because we are going to wait first for the donation page to close, which it closes in about a week's time. And then after the page closes and after everything has been processed on our end, we will send them the substantial donation that we have raised over the course of this weekend. So huge thank you. But there is some time for anyone who wants to put any final donations in to be read out on stream to do so. exclamation mark donate in the chat if you are on Twitch. There's a link in the description if you're on YouTube. There's the QR code that will appear on the stream momentarily when we move to intermission if anybody wants to scan the QR code and go to the donation page that way. But yeah, if any final donations, of course, will be read out on stream as well. Hello to Caballo de Madeira. AC is broke. We're waiting until you come back to fix it. Oh, right. How fun. Okay, well, I'm back in work in 2 days, so don't worry about that one. Yeah, that's a work colleague of mine. Right, but yeah, I will be going over to the intermission screen, and then we'll briefly go to closing remarks for InstaSpeedathon 2026. But before we do so, Speedbreaker55, do you have any final things you'd like to say?
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been great being on. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, I'd like to be here for the next marathon.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, and hopefully we will see you at the next marathon, whenever that may be.
Yeah, certainly.